Inshallah, in today's session, we will share with you the lessons from Juz 1 that has in it Surah Al-Fatiha and 1 to 141 ayahs from Surah Baqarah. Surah Fatiha includes within it the dua of the believer for guidance. Ihdina as-sirat al-mustaqim, iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'een, seeking the help along the way. That leads us into the first passage of Surah Baqarah, which is ayah number 1 to 20, where we are introduced to three main types of humanity. They are the believer, the disbeliever, and the hypocrite. Following that passage in 21 to 29, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala addresses mankind as a whole, saying, Ya ayyuhan nas, O people, U'budu rabbakum alladhi khalaqakum walladhina min qablikum. Worship your Rabb, the one who created you and the ones from before you. Why? لَعَلَّكُمْ تَتَّقُونَ, so that you may have the consciousness of Allah. Followed by an account of the occasion when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala appointed Adam alayhi salam as his Khalifa on earth. And that is in passage 30 to 39, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also outlines the terms and conditions of this appointment, where he says, whenever comes to you guidance from me, فَإِمَّا يَأْتِيَنَّكُم مِّنِّي هُدًى فَمَن تَبِعَ هُدَايَ, whoever follows my guidance, as a result of that, فَلَا خَوْفٌ عَلَيْهِمْ, there is not going to be any fear upon them, وَلَا هُمْ يَحْزَنُونَ, and there is not going to be any sorrow. The last passage, which is 40 to 141, devoted entirely to an extensive discussion about Bani Israel, reminding them of the long list of favors that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has granted them in their long history. That starts with the escape from Fir'aun, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions وَإِذْ فَرَقْنَا بِكُمُ الْبَحْرَ, when we split the seas for you, فَأَنْجَيْنَاكُمْ, and we rescued you, وَأَغْرَقْنَا عَلَى فِرْعَوْنَ, and we drowned the people of Fir'aun, وَأَنْتُمْ تَنْظُرُونَ, while you were witness to that, while you were watching it. And that continues with the mention of the manna and the salwa while they were lost in the desert, how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala shaded them with the clouds. And then we have the mention of the 12 springs gushing forth so that they could have their water, right? All of that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala continues to mention, and Bani Israel continues to remain ungrateful and violate the commands of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to the extent where they also mocked and ridiculed the divine commands, like when they were commanded to slaughter a cow. What's the color of the cow, right? Time and again, they continue to reject the message, despite having had the privilege of receiving number of prophets and messengers, starting with Musa alayhi salam, ending with Isa alayhi salam. Verse 101 describes their rejection in a very powerful way. Whenever messengers came to them from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala confirming that which was with them, نَبَذَ فَرِيقٌ مِّنَ الَّذِينَ أُوتُوا الْكِتَابِ كِتَابَ اللَّهِ, a group from the ones who were given the book, they threw the book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, where? وَرَاءَ ظُهُورِهِمْ, behind their backs, كَأَنَّهُمْ لَا يَعْلَمُونَ, as if they had no clue about it, as if they didn't know anything in it, right? Finally, the passage concludes with a discourse with Bani Israel about their claims to righteousness through being the descendants of Ibrahim alayhi salam and his children, reminding them that the only lasting link between generations of nations is that of faith. One is either a believer or a disbeliever, and the criteria is what? The action and their record. Concluding that juz is the ayah, tilka ummatun qad khalat laha ma kasabat wa lakum ma kasabtum. Those communities have passed. For it is what it has earned, for you is what you have earned. وَلَا تُسْأَلُونَ عَمَّا كَانُوا يَعْمَلُونَ, and you are not going to be asked about that which they used to do.
من أجبت دعاء نوح فانتصر وحملته في فلكك المشحون يا من أحال النار حول خليله روحا وريحانا بقولك كوني